Power has been defined as someone's ability to influence the behavior of another, to force compliance, to impose their will on another. And their types of power, the most commonly used is coercive power. This relates directly to force, the use of threats, um, the use of punitive actions to get compliance from another party. This is very common in organizations in Uganda, here where I live and where I work. Then, of course, there is utilitarian power, which is common in business organizations where it is a performance reward mechanism. So, compliance by those following their leader, or who those willing to comply to the powerful. This is motivated more by the rewards that come with compliance. Um, being to work on time, being, that that will be going to the performance evaluation, which will determine whether you get a raise or not. So you will make time and be punctual. And there's normative power. This is very common in religious organizations like churches. The followers cede power to their leaders, the Levites in church settings, um, because they accept that they have a right to have authority over them. Um, Pentecostal churches here in Uganda and many parts of Africa, you even hear people call their pastor's father. Um, so, what are the behavioral consequences of power? Um, in each case, it has to be understood that followers cede power to their to the powerful, to their superiors. So one of the consequences of that is commitment. This is in the case of expert power, where somebody's power is drawn from their expertise and knowledge of a subject or field. I work in a news organization, so I defer to my editor because he has more experience than me, and I more often than not comply to his instructions and directives. Then there is compliance, which is out of duty. So you cede uh, power to somebody out of duty, um, or if a reward is expected. Say if they control who gets hired, who gets the raise, or they have a say in how much you'll be paid, or whether you get promoted, you comply with their instructions with one eye on the possible rewards. Now, how does this influence negotiation and conflict management? Well, if subordinates believe that their superiors control, um, say, how much they earn, and subordinates are driven by money, their behavior is more, if it came down to a negotiation, or if a conflict, uh, their superiors use this knowledge against them, and they will know that this person is driven by money, so they'll be likely to threaten them by a pay cut, and they will comply. And if a conflict will be resolved quickly, if it's a conflict over pay, um, the superior will just raise the price nominally, or their offer nominally, knowing full well that the subordinate is driven by money. However, this is less obviously effective if the person isn't motivated by money per se. So this plays into part, the values of the subordinate all play a part in how negotiations and conflicts are resolved.